continuing on, I want to give a special thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below will get 2 free months of a subscription to Skillshare Premium, and then after that it's only about $10 a month. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them though later in this video. Today is going to be a bit of a day of waiting for us. We're going to be waiting for a few different things to happen here. For one, there's actually a swell forecasted for the Gulf Coast over the next couple of days. We're going to get a little bit of surf. It's going to be really small, but just this little wind swell, which is really rare for the Gulf, especially this time of year. Like in the summer like this, before hurricane season has really started to kick up, it's pretty rare to get any kind of swell at all. I mean, the Gulf can get good, don't get me wrong. I spent years and years surfing the Gulf. When I lived in New Orleans, I would drive over to Pensacola, Panama City, Gulf Shores, Alabama even. And like it can get really good in the wintertime and in the spring and even during hurricane season as well. But this time of year, it is extremely rare. So I'm excited. At this point, I don't even care how small it is. If it's even a little bit rideable, I'm going to be looking forward to getting in the water for a day or two. I haven't surfed in like 3 or 4 months at this point, and that's a big reason why we came to Florida, was to hopefully be able to get a couple of days of waves. Obviously the summer is not the best time of year for that, but I made a few changes to kind of prepare for the likely very small surf that we're going to be experiencing all summer here on the East Coast. Obviously I currently do have a surfboard. I have a board, but it is like a performance shortboard. It's not really meant for like really tiny conditions like what we're probably going to get over the next couple of days here on the Gulf. So I decided to buy a new board, and I went through a couple of issues with this whole thing. Like originally I kind of wanted to get something cheap. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I wanted like a foam board, maybe something that Shannon could learn how to surf on, but that would also work for those really small days. But the problem with a foam board, like a Wave Storm, the things that I used to teach surf lessons on when I was in California, is that they're really big. This thing is like 8-9 feet. Like it's definitely not going to fit in my van, not going to fit in Shannon's van either. So I decided not to do that because I found an alternative on the Costco website, and I ordered it. I kind of made an impulse buy. It should be arriving later today, and I am very excited about it.
What am I forgetting? Oh, the board.
How are you going to take a surf lesson without a surfboard?
Oops.
So this thing is actually an inflatable board. That's what I was so excited about. We'll actually be able to fit it inside the vans. I don't think it's going to perform super well. The rails are pretty thick, but as like an alternative to a Wave Storm, a foam board, something to learn on and just have fun, I think it's going to work. What do you think?
I don't know how I'm going to learn to surf with no waves, but
that is the problem. The surf that was supposed to amount to something didn't. The wind swell that I was talking about yesterday has really not amounted to anything at all. It's pretty much completely flat, but we'll just go out, paddle around on this thing, kind of break it in. It is 4th of July today, but we've kind of waited till the end of the day because we figured the beach was going to be super busy pretty much all day today. But we just got a pretty crazy rainstorm, so hopefully it'll be quiet down there and we'll be able to just kind of hang out in the water for a little bit. Paddle! Oh!
having a surf lesson.
We also decided to get a GoPro. Shannon's idea. First Florida surf session a success?
Yeah, it was good. I'm excited to go again tomorrow.
It was a little bit small, but I think, like I said, in the water, it's definitely going to build a little bit, and we'll see what happens. That board is kind of weird, I'm not going to lie. It is definitely got some really thick rails, so it doesn't really perform like a normal longboard, but, you know, for something on really small days and for Shannon to learn to surf on, I think it's going to work out.
some big fireworks here.
There's like no official fireworks show, right? Like all the...
I don't think so.
They were all shut down because of the virus and all that, but it looks like some of our neighbors had some pretty big fireworks budgets and we're definitely benefiting from it. Happy 4th to anyone out there who is in the United States, and hope you guys are having a good one. As I mentioned earlier, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with all sorts of different classes and courses that you can take to learn how to do just about anything. Everything from like creative writing to filmmaking and photography, design, drawing, all sorts of different things. It's a really, really awesome resource. And I've recently been working on this course taught by Susan Orlean on creative nonfiction writing. Thought it was kind of an interesting thing to explore here and could maybe apply if I try to maybe like write a book one day or something like that about my experiences living in the van, or just even some sort of like a script for like a documentary film or something along those lines. Really, really awesome course, guys, and can't say enough good things about Skillshare. I've taken a lot of really interesting courses on this platform over the past 6 months or so. Would definitely recommend checking them out. Like I said earlier, the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below will get 2 free months of a subscription to Skillshare Premium. And then after that, it's only about $10 a month. Thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring these videos. Ready to go to the beach?
Yeah, the waves.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, okay.
I've been checking the cams all morning and it doesn't really look like there's too much in the water. It looks probably even flatter than it was yesterday. But we'll just go and, float around again like we did, and maybe you'll get a couple waves. And this is our last day, guys. We're leaving tomorrow morning, so this will be our last day on at a Gulf Coast beach. We gotta get you a wave.
Get me a wave.
We gotta get you like a good one. You had a good one before. All right, ready? Start paddling. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Paddle harder. Oh, you go. Oh. Paddle forward this way. You're going a little low. That's it. Woo! Oh. Up, up. So was it worth it coming to Florida?
Yeah, I think even with the COVID stuff, we stayed inside. We did the exact same thing we would doing in Utah, so I think it was worth it.
Yeah, we really have just been avoiding people for the most part, and Shannon got to meet my parents for the first time, and obviously we had a place to stay here. We were pretty spoiled this past week, having full air conditioning and being able to just work inside, not really having to deal with the crazy heat that is Florida in the summertime. Our plan is actually to stay in Florida for a couple more days too. I think we're going to head over to the East Coast, but we are probably going to be trying just to sleep in the vans. And we're going to go to like a quieter section of the East Coast, kind of like Satellite Beach, where I was a couple years ago. Really like that area. It's one of my favorite parts of Florida. And there's a little bit of a tropical swell going on, so the surf should definitely be better than it was for us today and yesterday here on the Gulf. Although Shannon's been making some improvements. She definitely did really well today. It was fun. Got a couple leftover fireworks going on here tonight. I think this pretty much sums it up for this one though here, guys. Like I said, we are going to head to the east coast of Florida. We're kind of just packing everything up here tonight, kind of cleaning up, loading everything back into the vans. We defrosted our fridges and all that, so we're just kind of getting everything back on and just kind of moving everything back in slowly here. And we're going to hit the road first thing tomorrow and then head over to the East Coast. But that's all going to be part of the next video. Before ending this vlog, I do have a few new Patreon pledges to thank. Paul Grew, Justin Gray, and Kevin Carnes. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon team. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Are you trying to kill me?